up, we have Potomac Watch columnist Kim Strassel on why Newt Gingrich just won't quit. Kim, welcome.
Hi.
So Newt is downsizing his campaign. Newspapers are pulling their reporters from their embeds with him. He's running a clear third in most of the primaries, and yet this is what he said today on regarding the race. And let me quote, "Well, you know, Romney has to earn this. It's not going to be given to him, and we have every right to run." Now, that may be true, but who does this benefit, Kim? Newt or somebody else? Why is he still in this race?
Look, I don't think it's necessarily a question of who it benefits. It's more that none of these guys still see a compelling reason why they should quit, and that all of them have this memory of an up and down race where surprising things happen. Now, that hasn't happened in a while. We sort of settled into this lull of Mitt Romney winning a campaign or winning a primary, and then Rick Santorum winning a primary, going back and forth. Newt continues to come in third, as you said, in most of these places. But they all have these memories of a big media moment, something that shifts, and they think that they may be able to still break out, especially because Mr. Romney has not managed to garner overwhelming support among the primary electorate.
Well, I think we actually have a chart here, a recent CNN ORC poll on whether or not Newt should drop out, what the public thinks. So let's see if we can, there we go. Wow, 60% say that he should drop out, 39% say no. Kim, money is obviously a big factor here. Rick Taylor runs Winning Our Future, which is a super PAC that supports Newt, says he's going to keep spending money on the candidate. Is that a good call? Are there other big funders like, say, Sheldon Adelson who are still in Newt's corner, or rather in his pocket?
Winning Our Future is still the bright spot of the Gingrich campaign, and that his campaign itself has been struggling to raise money. But Winning Our Future has still got funds, and it's been one of the main reasons that you see Gingrich advertisements up in many of the states that still are yet to vote. Now, the recent FEC numbers came out, and what we did find out is that Winning Our Future did get in February the vast majority of its money from the Las Vegas billionaire Sheldon Adelson. We don't know what's exactly happened in March, if he's continued to keep giving that amount or if he's done. He's made clear, or he has certainly suggested that his goal is to see a Republican in the White House, and that whether or not he supports Newt now in the primary, probably giving funds to whoever the eventual nominee is. The question is, when does he actually cut it off? When does he kind of cut the losses if Mr. Gingrich isn't going to have another one of those big moments? And that's something that will probably get sorted out in the next 2 or 3 weeks, because the pressure is really beginning to rise on the Gingrich campaign.
We're talking to Wall Street Journal Potomac Watch columnist Kim Strassel on the GOP race. Kim, one of the questions that's been raised is the effect of Newt staying in the race. What effect does that have on Rick Santorum? Again, I think we have a couple of polls here from the same source, CNN ORC. If we can get that up, that'd be great. But Kim, while we're waiting for that to come up, what do you think?
Well, this has been a really interesting, these polls that have come out, people finally started asking this question: what role is Newt Gingrich having in denying some of the other players' votes? Rick Santorum's argument has been he hasn't necessarily been calling for Newt Gingrich to get out of the race, but he has been suggesting that, if only Gingrich would exit, that would allow him to coalesce the conservative wing of the party and really give Mr. Romney a run for his money. What these polls suggest is that that's not really so clear-cut. It would seem that those who are voting for Mr. Gingrich, supporting Mr. Gingrich, are about evenly split between Mr. Santorum and Mr. Romney. If Mr. Gingrich was to get out of the race, Mr. Santorum would get slightly more of his supporters, but Mr. Romney would get a fair share too, and so it wouldn't necessarily change overwhelmingly the dynamic.
Well, it certainly wouldn't. Without Gingrich in the race, Romney still has a 15-point lead over Mr. Santorum. I want to talk to you a little bit about the structure of this process, Kim, as maybe another way of explaining why we're still talking about third placers like Newt Gingrich and Ron Paul, who's also still here. How much of this is the fault of the system that the Republican Party set up, with this proportional delegate system? Is that contributing to this prolonged race?
Yeah, I mean, this has been it's a growing topic of discussion among Republicans, and it may well have something to do with why neither Mr. Gingrich nor Mr. Santorum is getting out. And it has to do, in 2010, the Republican National Committee, it wanted to do a couple of things. It wanted to give the states all more of input into deciding who the nominee was going to be, rather than having this quick 1, 2, 3 punch in January and then it all be decided. So one, give more people a voice in that. And one of the ways it did it is it stretched out the primary calendar made it longer, but it also began awarding delegates on a proportional basis rather than winner take all.
Kim, just sorry to cut you off there. Just a little bit left on this topic. I wanted to get to Rick Santorum real quick. His support is eroding in his home state. Again, we've got a real quick chart. Rick Santorum, 30%, Mitt Romney, 28%. Why? I thought this was his home state. What's the problem?
It is his home state, but it's also a purple state, Mary. And so, he is run as the conservative candidate here. And one of the questions is whether or not he's losing support among many of those sort of suburban, ex-urban voters that have definitely been more in Mr. Romney's camp throughout this primary. And that's going to be decisive, I think, when Pennsylvania comes up in about 3 or 4 weeks.